Welcome, everyone, to the MindShift TV Show. I'm super excited to have Erica Kreismann here with me today. We're going to be talking about leadership. We're going to talk about HR. We're going to talk about everything in between right there. Erica, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm looking forward to this.
Yes, I'm really excited. You and I met online, and I'm really excited about today's conversation. Tell me what it is that you do. Give us some background for our audience.
So my background's in emergency medicine. I trained in New York City. It's busy and a little bit of chaos, but it's
Sounds like a lot.
never a dull moment. So trained in New York City and practiced there for a few years before I took it overseas on a wild adventure. So I've been doing that been living overseas now for the last 15 years.
Wow, that is amazing. And now, what did you learn out of those lessons? Okay, I'm going to hop right into that because it's one thing to do emergency medicine, and the other thing is to go on a wild adventure somewhere in the world and do emergency medicine there. What does it look like for you?
You know, it's interesting because medicine is the same. People get sick everywhere, the same way everywhere in the world, right? Like humans are beautiful in that way. And there are also some pretty subtle differences. You know, when I was in New York, for example, I wasn't looking after farming injuries. So here I get to Tasmania, this rural population, and suddenly like the stuff that you're seeing, like the heart attacks are the same. But a lot of the trauma and those kind of injuries were quite different from anything I had that I had experienced or been trained with in New York. And there are a lot of lessons in there, right? Like the same way that travel and adventure, like there are always lessons that come from that. But there are also so many lessons about us, about our own resilience, about what we're capable of, about humanity and the kindness and the generosity that you see across the oceans. Like there's a lot of beautiful learning to come from you.
What would you say is like the top 3 learnings that you've had along your career?
Top 3 learnings.
I know we're not like a million.
Well, we're not going to be specific. We're not asking specifically about travel or specifically about medicine or just learnings, like life lessons.
Life lessons.
Top 3 lessons, I would say the first one has to sit somewhere in that space of curiosity.
Ooh, I like that.
There have been so many, I think, lessons that really pointed out to me the power of being curious. And one of the things that has been incredibly powerful in my own learning is that understanding that you truly cannot be both judgmental and curious at the same time.
They cannot coexist. I love that awareness because they cannot coexist.
No, they can't. And so as soon as we bring judgment, we shut down conversation, we shut down true connection. And so certainly medicine teaches you, right, to bring curiosity. You bring curiosity to the bedside. You bring curiosity to the vulnerable human that's in front of you. Travel also really embeds that lesson in a meaningful way. Like it is a big world. There are a lot of beautiful things out there, and the way we experience that is through the lens of being curious.
Wow, that's fascinating. I love the fact that whole thing, I've never thought about it. Curiosity and judgment, they cannot coexist. It makes sense the moment you said it. I'm like, wow, that's interesting because that is the moment where everything goes out the window because we have all of this background, what I call baggage.
Yeah.
We have trunks of information with us. And we cannot see it through the lens of what's actually here.
Yeah.
The lens of discovery, curiosity, and discovery.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Well, what is one thing, considering that you've traveled so much, you've done this working abroad and now back in the States, what does it look like when you leave the country to go do this amazing work that you love, and then you come back into this country? What are some of the lessons that you've learned re-entering the country now as a professional?
The lessons that I've learned re-entering the country are probably pretty similar to the ones that I learned entering a different country. We come with so many expectations or the experience that we bring, right? And I suppose that goes hand in hand with the theme of discovery and curiosity that we were just talking about. And your focus is your reality, right? How often do we find ourselves in that situation where, it's like when you buy a new car and suddenly on the road, everybody's driving that car.
Yes.
That's like all you see. So your mind is trained in a lot of ways to look for the things that you think you're going to find. And when we travel, when we broaden that lens, when we leave the country, when we come back to the country, if we do it with an open mind, almost like being a child, right? That childlike wonder that kids bring with them. When you do that, you see magic in places that you didn't expect to. I'm living in New England now. I haven't lived in New England in 30 some years, right? Like there is so much beauty and so much wonder here that was unexpected for me. It's not the US that I left 15 years ago.
I could imagine that the world has changed. And although you've left and now come back, I'm sure it's happened to me. I went back to my hometown recently and looked around. And although I knew what the house looked like at one point, it wasn't like that anymore. It had built multiple times over. The streets looked different. The community looked different. Everything was different.
Yeah. Yeah. And so in some ways it's a homecoming, and in other ways it's all new, right? It's a new chapter. It's a new adventure. There are new lessons, and it's important that I think that we stay open to it. Otherwise we miss it.
It is. It's really interesting. Like, we must maintain that lens of curiosity, be open to the newness and let go of the old, and whatever it is that is for us. Tell me, as this extraordinary professional back here in the US, helping people globally, what is the one thing that makes your heart sing when you're helping people? What is that?
I think a lot of people go into emergency medicine or imagine emergency medicine, because of the trauma, because of the excitement and the adrenaline. And for sure, many of us who go in have that. We're drawn to that. And the most amazing part of emergency medicine for me has always been the capacity to connect with humans when they're at their most vulnerable. There is something so beautiful about that. It's like a shortcut to connection. We walk around in our days, all of us do it, so busy, so focused, so guarded, and nobody ever leaves their house in the morning thinking that they're going to end up in the emergency department. It's just not part of the plan. And when they find themselves there in that state of being incredibly vulnerable, that's when real connection can happen. And that has always felt like such a gift to me.
Wow. And you're right. Nobody leaves the house thinking that they're going to end up in an emergency room or wake up in the morning thinking, or go to bed at night, right? It's happened to me, waking up in the middle of the night. Now all of a sudden I'm in an emergency room, and things are going haywire in life for personal and familiar reasons as well. Tell me, what would you say to your younger self? What is the greatest piece of advice you would tell your younger self to say, hey, this is what is possible for you?
Oh, it's such a valuable lesson, isn't it? Like the opportunity to pause and think back to, the gift of wisdom. If I were gifting her advice or wisdom, like something that she should take with her through the next however many years, I would want her to be present. I would want her to truly pay attention. Like there's so much rush and pressure to look ahead and go do the thing and tick the box and hurry up because there's the next thing, there's the next box, there's the, it was school and then more school and then get a job and then do this and have, I've got 4 kids. Like it's just been this big, there's a quick pace and there's a lot of rush that happens. And so if I were going to give the younger version of me a bit of wisdom from, decades down the road, it would be like, just be, pause and just be in the moment, be with yourself, be with your friends, be with your family. Like it goes so fast, and that's another thing that I've learned from the emergency department. There's so many regrets that we could have at the end of life, and taking the moment to be present and to like truly soak in the magic that we're gifted. Like, yeah, do that.
Oh, wow. That's important. That brings me to my next question. What are some of the regrets that come from people in the emergency room who may not have much time left?
I think the hardest part of the gift, really, of being with somebody at the end of their life is that regret piece. It's watching people and loved ones navigate the end. And I truly think that regret lives in that space of not loving well.
Oh. Tell me more about that. That's deep.
Yeah. I thought about this a lot.
Wow, that is so deep. Like it's the regret. It's not talking about like the work. A lot of people, we put a lot of importance on that, or the things that I could have loved.
Yeah, because that will look different. It'll look different for everyone, right? But to truly love well, it's not about things. It's not about achievement. It ultimately is about those relationships. I guess in some ways it informs, the advice that I was giving my younger self, because it is about being present. Mm-hmm. It's about being present and prioritizing the things that matter. And those are the humans that we connect with, and yourself, and being there for it.
What are the top 3 things that you would want people to take away from this interview?
Every day is a gift, right? Emergency medicine. If it's going to teach you one thing, it's going to teach you that. Every day is a gift. And we can't take that for granted. And so that's a big one, is there's got to be a lot of gratitude wrapped up in that. You woke up in the morning, you got another crack at it. So the gratitude and living well, right? Because whatever that looks like, that's a life without regret. Prioritizing those relationships, be present, and live well.
Uh, uh, Well, you can teach a course in each one of those.
You can.
You can, like living well. Life is a gift. Every moment is a gift. This moment is a gift to be there and to enjoy as we're continuing to move forward in this world, this complex world in many different ways as it continues to shift technology, life, everything along with it. What's your vision for the future?
I guess it's a vision and a wish, right? Like if I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of optimism and hope,
Magic in there.
yeah, for sure. Why not? It's something that sits in that space of connection. I believe that we, all of us, the collective we're so hungry for community and connection, real, genuine connection. And it's scary. It requires vulnerability. But like that is the future. That's where our joy lives, is in our capacity to truly see and connect with other humans. And my hope for all of us is that we head down that path, where there's more of that in our world, in our days, where we prioritize it, we're intentional about the time we spend connected with each other. That's where there's a lot of beauty that lives there. And we waste a lot of time not being in that space. So yeah. What do you think?
Well, I think it's fascinating. My wish forward is that we tap into our consciousness, that we tap into our humanity at different levels, into our love, into our compassion, into our empathy, into the ability to be able to connect with each other and to really understand people's lives through their lens and through their reality. My grandmother always had a saying, nobody knows what the person is carrying around except for the person. And in that case, it's so true. Like, what is it that you carry inside? Every world is its own. Every person's its own world. How do I get into the world of that individual in a way that I could really connect with their humanity, as you talked about, with their love, what they care about, and what they don't care about? It's like, what is it that they're about? How do I connect with them in a place that honors them? That's what I would say for myself. That's what I think. So as we're wrapping up, tell me, moving forward, like if somebody to watch this interview and they like, I want to connect with Erica. Why? Right? So that's like the question for you is, what is it that somebody would want to connect with you for?
I don't even know that there needs to be a why, right? For us as humans, that connection is its own why. There's so much meaning, even just in our capacity and our ability to truly meet each other where we're at. And that's enough for me. When we both come with curiosity, when we both come with an open mind, not I want something, or I want you to give me something, or I want to give you something, but our capacity to just be present with each other, to learn from each other, to show up and bring joy, like more of that in this world.
Sure.
Yeah.
I love that. That's how our connection started. I'm like, wow, your energy is absolutely beautiful. I'm like, I want you on this. I want to interview you. And so I love that. I love the energy to be able to connect and like, let it go where it goes. Let it go where it goes. I think that's the beautiful thing. Erica, thank you so much for being here with me today.
I'm so grateful for the conversation, for the connection. Thank you for having me.
And thank you so much. I'm really excited about you being on our other platform. So it's very exciting. So to our audience, take 5 minutes, do 3 things. Is it to decide that you're going to schedule a time to view this interview again? You already know what's important for you to do. keep on creating your version of a happy, healthy, and wealthy life for yourself. Do what makes your heart sing and continue to be amazing.